Hey, this is Notser, and we're in the York. I've been revisiting some ships that just haven't seen the light of day for years at this point, and I've really tried to do my best to give my opinion of how it works right now. And this is the York. I played this a couple days ago. It's got your typical build that you would expect: priority target, expert marksman, demolition expert, accuracy, of course, and we're going to see how well she works out. The York was notorious back in the day for terrible turret traverse, terrible gun velocity. The 210mm gun, it's just slightly larger than a 203, but it'd be like night and day compared to what I would typically expect from a 203. So here's the York. We're on the western flank. I use my aircraft, hoping maybe I can peer through the veil of enemies and figure out a target that I can engage. So what's the deal with the York? Well, larger caliber gun. The turrets traverse, I mean, they're slower than the average German, but they're pretty competitive with everyone else at this tier. And I would say that the gun velocity on the HE is alright to satisfactory, but the AP gun velocity leaves something to be desired, and that something would be gun velocity. It drops it by 3 to 4 seconds to the target. Not even joking. So AP is not really viable at long range. It just isn't. It's very hard to lead the target. It is just subpar. So what I end up doing is slinging a lot of HE, and for the longest time, HE was not even viable. Don't even talk about HE. It's German. It shoots AP. Yeah. But AP is pretty bad in a lot of scenarios. You know, angle target, bow on if you don't have enough to overmatch. If the target happens to be a battleship, you would have to be very confident in the location that you have, whatever is presented. So HE should be used. Whether it's good or not is kind of irrelevant in a lot of ways. It's just a weak point of the ship, and you would hope that you could maximize the strengths. What are the strengths? Well, it's nice to have torpedoes. A lot of torpedoes, both sides, so if you get close, you can use it. Because it's a slightly larger caliber gun, it should have a slightly higher chance to light the target on fire. Plus, we have Demolition Expert. So that's exactly what we're trying to do here. Keep the Gneisen's lit up. Looks like he's having a really bad day. He's got 3 fires, and I don't know that he can put it out. I don't know that he can put it out. And we'll check the top right. Good thing to do. You know, I know I repeat myself, but if you want to see if your dot is still going, check the top right ticker. And make sure you turn this stuff on. I always have so many people, hey, where do you get the detailed ribbons? Well, it's in the controls option. Oh, damage counter, smoke timer, it's all there. I almost wish that Wargaming would ask you whether you would like these things enabled versus you just going through it and looking yourself. I just don't see that it's that helpful to have it there, but not to tell people it's there. I almost wish that Wargaming would sponsor me to make a video just to inform you all about exactly what is there. So, Algerie is pushing forward. The Algerie is, I believe it's a tier 7 French cruiser, so it's not to be trifled with. Gotta be careful. Fired HE, switched to AP. He's fairly close. AP is usable at this range, but not near 16, 17 kilometers. So you know what, the AP worked out, but I didn't think it would. He's got good angling. He's at least aware of angling. I'm trying to aim for that superstructure. Expecting him to move forward into my shot. I should be able to hit him. But he's not changing his angle. At least he wasn't until I think he saw the torpedoes and was trying to address them by moving at him, going through the gap, and doing that sort of thing. And we're just going to sling some HE at him, which is fine. Everything's fine here. He's kind of hazy, so I expect that there is smoke in front of me, and there is indeed smoke in front of me. You saw what I did. I tried to go AP again, and just not the right move. Should have just stuck with HE until they make a critical mistake. And thankfully, the smoke is there, so I can re-angle against the target. He's going to angle his bow on. HE doing okay. We've already set him on fire once, I believe, so another fire will actually stick pretty long. Oh, he's going to over-rotate. This is our chance to sling the AP. So I switched to AP. He sent his torpedoes. Not very impressive torpedoes. Widespread. Did he really send it widespread? Yeah, that's not going to work out. Fire out the waterline, hoping for a citadel. Of course not. Of course not. 2 shells overpinned. They overpinned. Oh, really? Well, pop it up to the superstructure, and that should be enough. And that's basically what you do. Go for the broadside. If the target angles away, shoot the superstructure. That's pretty much all you could do. My counterpart, enemy York. Now look at the AP shell now. We've got HE. We switched to AP because he is broadside. But look, 12 seconds. 12 seconds. And I do a little jump to see. Yeah, that's how bad it is. If I would have fired HE at him in that same situation, I would have to lead the target much less. And look at how long it takes for that shell to get to the target. It's just one of those things with the York. AP at mid to long range is just not viable. Just not viable. But this enemy York, he's gonna let me do whatever he wants. He's coming back around. I guess he wants a piece of me. We've got AP loaded still. Do a quick check. You don't want to go off straight distance. Distance is directly to whatever object that might be in the way. We get a little bit of damage. 7,200, not bad. Not bad. We're getting into the range of the guns where the AP is viable. But yeah, you got to make sure you take the range of the water around the target, otherwise it's irrelevant. Of course, it's not 1 second to the target. It's 1 second to where my cursor is. And I think my Nuremberg friend will be able to take out the York. Bill Prime. Oh, it's the original Bill. Now, the York was a part of my German Cruiser advancement. I was playing through it again just to see how it went. And, you know, I've been playing some French cruisers. French cruisers are really squishy. Like, really, really squishy. So it's a breath of fresh air to have a ship that can actually take a shell. Now, it's not dishing any damage. It's certainly not doing that. But, man, the French, could they make a squishier setup? You've got really, really average heals. You've got almost no armor. And you have no smoke. Plus, you got a citadel that's right under the main gun. So shoot the main gun. But the enemy York trying to escape. He's not going to. HE's going to be enough to take out the target. And that's our second kill. And I'm not doing anything special, obviously. I'm just using the York, trying to maximize my situation, avoid taking too much damage. And we've been lucky. We've had friendlies in front of us. And that's really what you rely on, quite honestly. As a cruiser, you rely on your friendlies taking shells for you. Now we got the Robotnik. He's trying to move off towards a friendly York. Trying to get a HE shell on the target, and nope. We do not. For as long as the Robotnik is, it's not quite long enough to allow me to get a shell on him, but we got the Graf Spee. I switched to AP. Because at this point, I really didn't recognize the time to target. We're close enough, right? We're just on the edge of having too much distance to get to the target. And of course, he's going to angle away, move towards, elevate the gun, but it's just not going to hit. It's just not going to hit. The one that does ricochets off his side. And that's just a part of the Graf Spee. It's basically a cruiser with battleship guns. Very nimble. You sort of want to chain fire. I find that chain firing works better for a ship that could maneuver. And here is the French cruiser. He's sort of moving south towards the friendly Nuremberg, trying to provide gun support. It is nice that you could shoot over islands, but I don't know, maybe I would just prefer higher damage or velocity just so I could hit the target more often. I'm not one of those people that camps behind an island. I just can't do that. I like moving forward or moving back. Friendlies are still trying to work on the Garage Bay. Lead the target, elevate the gun. Looks pretty good to the target at least. Hopefully it doesn't change. And yes, we take out the target just as... Oh, here comes some torpedoes. Angle against it, and he doesn't get it off. Wow. We got lucky there. And oh, the Independence. He's not going to have a good day. Now here's a good example. 9 seconds to the target. When I switched to AP, 12 seconds, 12.3. It's going to be a really hard shot with AP. I'm just better off using HE until I get closer. It's just the issue with the York. It's not changing. They feel like it's competitive enough where it's like, I know, 48% win rate or 49% win rate. So you just have to deal with it. That's just how it works. And this is going to be an easy kill. He obviously can't get away. Even if he sent torpedoes or aircraft and dive bombers, there's nothing he could do. There's nothing he could do. But we're HE's doing okay. It's good doing okay. So the York. Coming back to it, I don't completely hate it, but I don't feel like it offers a gameplay element that is compelling. It feels like I'm just playing a worse version of a lot of different ships. It's not as high rate of fire as the Americans with their low muzzle velocity, and they've got the, you know, arc over the islands. It doesn't have the AP penetration that I would like. Definitely has slow shells, but we got 4 kills. That doesn't happen by accident. 1,765 base XP, 76,000 damage done. And look, second highest was a York. We just played the game correctly. Used the right ammo in the right situation, other than a couple times, and just went after the targets that isolated themselves. Pretty simple. Nobody fired at us. All of my damage was HE based, just much easier to hit. So that's the York. Hopefully this helps anyone who's working through it. I hope everyone has a fantastic day, and I'll catch you next time.